I don't fly very often. So when they started to de-ice the plane, I thought it had something to do with the coronavirus. Anyway, it didn't. It was 20 degrees when I flew out of Detroit to Miami to see my son, who lives there with his wife, for the weekend. And we went out on a party boat fishing called the Sea Legs 3. It's near Miami. We had a blast. The Sea Legs is 75 feet long. Let's look at a better picture of it. Yeah, there we go. And so we went out, and we could still see Miami in the on the shoreline. We're going fishing on the Sea Legs, my boy and I. I'm planning on catching one this big, but hoping that it's not too windy out there. Turns out it was real windy, but check out my rod and reel there. You can see my GoPro camera. It's in a plastic housing so that I can turn it on and drop it down underwater. I have always wondered what is on the bottom of the ocean. Is it like shipwrecks or coral reefs, or I just don't know, but today we will find out. The camera rig is pretty primitive, and it'll spin around. I'm trying to get it so that the bait and the hook would float in front of the camera, but it didn't work out that way most of the time. But it's fascinating to see once I drop it down. All right, let's get rolling with that. That's the fun part. All right, so you can see the rays of sunlight near the surface. You might have noticed that big hole in the boat. That's the squid. All right, that's the bait hanging off of the hook, and it looks really nice to a fish who's hungry. Those waving tentacles attract the fish. Now, the water outside of Miami and the general vicinity is so crystal clear and clean. It's amazing. It's just wonderful. You can see deep down into it, but I think we're going down about 100 feet, maybe more. You just saw the bottom of the boat with that hole in it. I think that hole is supposed to be there, and we never did sink, so it's all right. I think it might have something to do with if you got a tow a boat that size. I don't know. But we're still dropping down into the inky depths. We're about to get there and have a look. What is down there? It's almost like we landed on the moon. Boom. What is that? It looks like ancient pottery. I think that's a toilet. This is the first time I dropped the camera down. And what comes into view? A toilet. There is a sinker. And we've already got a fish on, the guy next to me. So that was really cool. I think that's an old tire. I'm not sure. What we've got on the bottom is the tips of coral reefs and sand and broken shell all around. That's what we've got. So there's a triggerfish coming up to inspect. He just hit the camera. Let's see that. That's cool. All his buddies are... No, he's chasing him away. Now he's going to have it out with the camera again. No. He's good. Rather than show you, every time I reel up all the way and replace the bait and then go all the way down to the bottom, I'm just going to play you a series of times where we drop on the bottom, so you miss the boring stuff. This is a fish that's hooked by the guy to the left of me. He's fighting, swimming all over, but the guy actually got him in the boat and took him home. Those are fish hitting my bait. I don't know what kind they are, but if you do, put it in the comments section. I think they're pretty small. There's another trip to the bottom, and as we arrive, we look around. It's like landing on Mars or something. It's so cool. Don't know what that is. Another sinker. Dropping down. Look for two baits. They have two hooks on each line when they bait the hooks on the sea legs. You're hearing the actual sound that the camera's picking up at the bottom of the ocean. But you can also hear that whine. I think that's the sound of the reels 100 feet away. When someone reels in, it's transmitted down that wire, that sound. There's another shot of that fish being fought. Surprising sometimes how... Oh, that's a different fish. But you can see he's dragging the anchor. It's surprising how much of a fight they put up. Part of it is because they're way down there. They will pop their swim bladder. That's how far down they are when you yank them up from that depth. So if you... The mate has to unhook them and pop that bladder so that it doesn't injure the fish. I don't know how they do it. I don't know what that means, pop the bladder. But I saw people unhook fish that were too small, throw them out, and they would just float on the surface. And then the captain said, let us unhook them. Hey, that's pretty cool. I think they're after the bait, and the bait isn't right in front of the camera. I think they had taken the bait. I just didn't know it. So they were swimming around pulling the camera now. The camera is spinning a little, and then all of a sudden you see that that's the squid. That is the bait. So they didn't take it. Watch. There it is. That's evident that the line that holds the hook and bait is wrapped around the line above the camera. So now we've got it right in front of the camera lens. And that's part of the adventure of trying to do something new with a GoPro. Sure would be cool if a fish struck it right now, though. Boom! Thing is, the only one who caught a fish, I mean, it was either going to be me or my son, which was going to catch the first fish, and he caught it. And then he caught 2 more. And then another one he had to throw back, so he got bragging rights, but I got all the good footage. We're going to see him fighting.
You gotta get your fishing stance.
How do I look?
You look like you're ready for the big fight. This is another snapper. Nice. news! She's a big girl.
I will run into the boat.
No problem at all. Beautiful, beautiful.
Glad we don't have the low hurricane, so just like ordinary or...
Make it look better, yeah.
No, not good, snap.